As you can tell, we're giving OG vibes. The car videos are back. I just feel like the car gives a different energy. It just puts something different off. I don't know what it is. Something in the air. Always gives me a little fire under my booty. So obviously I'm in the comments all the time interacting with you guys, and I see people telling their stories, and some things are just too much to respond to in a comment. So I figured I'd make a video about this because I feel like a lot of people will find this video helpful. I want to talk about failure, the concept of failure when it comes to manifestation. I know that there are a lot of people who have been trying for a really long time. You already know how we feel about trying, but I already know that there are a lot of people who will say that they have been trying to manifest something for a long time, that they've done everything in the book, everything by the books, they've ticked off all the things on the manifestation to-do list, and yet the thing is still not here. And at this point you're feeling like, okay, I'm a failure. Should I give up on manifestation? Should I just be done? Because this should have happened by now, right? I want you to understand that there is no such thing. There's no such thing as failure when it comes to manifestation. Now, you can put the timing of the manifestation off on a lot of different things. If you believe in divine timing and you think things are just going to coalesce in the perfect way and whenever it comes is when it's supposed to come and then it'll be there, cool. If you're cool with waiting for infinite intelligence to orchestrate that pathway for you and for it to just come in that divine timing, which is really your timing because you are the divine. If that's your way of being, then that's fine. That's great. You're still gonna get what you want. And if that's you, then you're probably not watching this video because you're just kind of chilling with the flow of life, going with the flow, following the bridge of incidents. And I promise you, even if you have not seen your full-blown manifestation at this point, if you know that when the time is right, when it is perfect for you, when you are perfectly equipped and ready to call in your experience and to have that in your reality fully manifested, then that time will come and you will be the version of yourself who's prepared to take on that experience, prepared to accept that reality for yourself, because you are the version of yourself living in the reality of having your desire, right? But if that's not you and you feel like you are a failure because you haven't got what you want yet, and you feel like you've been doing everything right but you're still wondering why things aren't happening the way that you want them to, you have to understand that there is absolutely no such thing as failure. Manifestation works perfectly and it works every single time. It is working according to you, according to your belief systems, according to your self-concept, according to your identity. What you assume to be true about yourself and about how your reality works for you is what you're going to be shown. Regardless of if that's the true reality or objective reality of what's actually going on, the only way you will be able to perceive it is from your own lens. And that lens is created through your self-concept, through your identity. So if you see yourself as a person who is a failure, as a person who can't do anything right, the reality of that actually is that you're not a failure, you're manifesting perfectly. Because if you are the version of yourself fully in the state, if you are the version of yourself who knows that you already have what it is that you want, you know the only time is now, you know that it is done, it is finished, then what would you be questioning? What would you be asking about? What would you have failed? Because how can you have failed to have your manifestation when you are the version of yourself living in the end, in the reality where you already have your manifestation? That doesn't make sense. So that could only mean that you are not the version of yourself living in the end. You are the version of yourself who is waiting. You are the version of yourself who is trying. You are the version of yourself who believes yourself to be incapable. That's not the state that you want to be in to get your desired result. Your desired reality, the world that you want to be in, that has whatever it is that you want, and the version of you who is capable of having that experience coexist in the same reality. If you are not that version of yourself living in the reality where it's already done, then how can you ask why it's not there in the 3D? Why would you feel like a failure? The thing about it is, if infinite realities exist, infinite possibilities exist, then the possibility of you getting what you want still exists. It doesn't matter if you feel like you've missed a deadline, you've missed the cutoff, it was supposed to happen however long ago. The reality of you getting what you want still exists. You can change the past from the present. You can change the future from the present, but the only place you can do that is the present. So right now, you need to be the version of yourself who recognizes that you haven't failed anything. The opportunities don't suddenly just go away when some circumstance pops up. The circumstances do not determine who you get to be. You choose. You choose to be the version of yourself who gets to have whatever you want no matter what. And no matter if it's a deadline that you missed, or you're getting opposite results in the 3D, or you feel like it's just taking a really long time, you have to get back. You have to return. That's what this is about. Not even necessarily how long you can sustain the state, but your faithfulness in returning to the state and your conviction when you get into that state of saying, I am this version of myself, this is me. All other versions of myself are rendered invalid. They no longer mean anything about me. They no longer mean anything about my reality and what I am capable of having. I am not a failure. At any moment in time, I can choose to make a decision to be the version of myself living in the reality where I have everything I want. Okay, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna cut it off there, but I never, ever, ever want you to forget. I never want you to feel like you failed or you're incapable of doing something. Every single person is just as capable as the next person of manifesting. There are no criteria other than your own awareness, other than your own assumptions about what you're capable of, what you get to have, what you're worthy of, who you see yourself to be. So get back to square one. Ask yourself, who am I? Am I a failure? Am I going to identify as a failure? Am I going to identify as somebody who's incapable of getting what I want? Or am I going to return faithfully every single time? If you keep returning, eventually you will have nowhere else to go, because you will be the version of yourself that is only capable of existing in a reality that has the circumstances that you want. So never give up. Never say that you are a failure. You are incapable of failure. It's not even a thing. It's not even an option anymore. Take the word failure out of your vocabulary. Out of the infinite possibilities that exist, you are choosing to negate all of the ones that include failure. By whatever your terms of failure are, there are no longer options for you, because you are now the version of yourself that does not see that as an opportunity that you are eligible for. You are only available to have success. You are only available to get what you want. You are only available to be the version of yourself that you want to be, not the version of yourself that circumstances tell you you have to be, because those circumstances come from you. Never, ever, ever forget that. It's never done until you say it's done. And your word is final. Not the world's word, not circumstances' word, not that coach's word, not that person's word. It is your word that is final. You haven't failed anything. You're not running out of time. The world is on your side. Infinite intelligence is on your side. So return and make a fucking decision, as always. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it for me today. I intend this message serves you well, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments. If you're interested in working with me or checking out any of my other social media platforms, all that information's in the description box below. And other than that, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.